We've had many frames explored, and people even boost their favorite frame's potential. Some people pride themselves in being virtually untouchable, being indestructible, unbreakable, being a god among other frames. But then there's Limbo, a frame so powerful it made others look like peasants. The strongest of the strong, Limbo made them look like demigods, like regular people. And with avid Limbo players, some might even consider themselves as gods. Now I know that is a personal opinion, but that is how they feel. They believe it takes time, dedication, finesse, tranquility, peace, and a certain type of mental calibration to be able to master a warframe like Limbo. A warframe we all love to hate, but only few really sat down and learned from the masters. So today, ladies and gents, here is the lore of the Master of the Rift. Here is the lore of the warframe Limbo. If you haven't played the quest Limbo Theorem yet, then I suggest that you do. This quest is the one that introduces a player to the universe and the vastness of space. This is where you learn to pilot the Archwing, and the quest even goes further to show you how powerful warframes can be, and how sentient some of them can become. When you first pick up the quest for Limbo, you first encounter the understanding of a dilemma. The theorem and calculations were also incomplete. The equations were unfinished. This introduced you to the mind of Limbo himself, a mathematician with the knowledge of the cosmos and the ability to chart directions to different systems, but the equations were still incomplete. You must then venture into known regions to collect fragments which can be used to complete this equation. To know more about Limbo, one must be a scholar. To understand a message from the gods, you must be a prophet. After we gathered all the segments of this fragment, we then realized that the equations in this theorem cannot be converted using well-known understanding of math. Otis himself will even tell you that the theorem is invalid and leads nowhere. The equations are irrational and points in nothingness, but only a true master can really understand the call. At this point, you have to begin your journey into apprenticeship and understanding the parallelity in the dimensions of the universe, a journey to mastering the warframe himself. After several tries, Otis realized that the person who left the clue was speaking a different language. Limbo's clues were written in a language of the universe. Limbo was so knowledgeable and smart that he wrote an entire story in math equations and logic. Just when you think his diffraction principles is filled with dangling ratios, Limbo expresses his dynamic constant in pure numbers. At the conclusion of the quest, more was revealed about Limbo himself and the totality of the universe. Limbo had discovered a dimension lying between normal planes and the void. He discovered what is known as the rift plane. Limbo himself harnessed this power and is able to control the rift. With this power, Limbo was able to jump from plane to plane. He traveled across multiple realities, forward and backwards in time. His calculations took him to places and dimensions no one had ever been, but even a magician of math can make mistakes. Limbo had one last calculation in his theorem, and this is the one that he hoped will go further than he ever did. It would suit his desire by taking a leap far from the endless reaches of the rift. What he never realized, however, is that there were errors even in his own calculation. Limbo acted on this theory. He took a leap to a place further than before, and due to this, he became lost to everyone in all universe. His parts ended up in different realities and planes. Chassis here, neuroptics there, systems there. What was left of him was his soul and his knowledge, the only thing that echoed across all realities. When the Quills speak of the universe as being vast and unique, they speak of places Limbo himself had been, the ability to see the past and future, different realities, and to understand his own uniqueness in all the multiverse, a place where his life ends and another begins. Whether Limbo's actions were an attempt to be free of the Orokin's control or if it was suicide, well, there are possibilities within Warframe, but until next time, I hope you have learned something about the Master of the Rift himself, and I'm sure you're feeling like a god right now, but slow down your roll a little bit. You don't want to end up like your master as well. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed this piece, and I hope you have learned more about Warframe lore today. Thanks for watching this video, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.